Alright guys, what's going on? It is Thursday, July 8th, and I feel like I have been mudding and taping a little bit forever. So we're upstairs in the south unit right now, and I'm getting ready to employ my fancy new tool, drywall stilts. So I got tired of moving walk boards and ladders and then being able to sand a small area and then having to get down and move it all again and then rearrange the room and do all this kind of stuff. So we're gonna try the stilts today. It'll be the first time I ever put them on. So we'll put the time lapse on and just kind of step back and this will be fresh. Hopefully I don't fall and hopefully it increases my speed. That's the goal. So I bought the cheapest pair that you can get on Amazon. They were like 120, 130 after tax or something like that. And we're gonna rock out. We got the HVAC install on this south unit is completed. So that's really good. It should be cooler in here actually, but right now it's about 79 degrees. So I gotta ask my HVAC man if he thinks the temperature differential on the system has fallen. It seems like the air coming out of the cold or coming out of the vents isn't as cold as it should be. So I have to look at that, but we got a brand new HVAC unit. And if I can get these upstairs rooms finished mudding, so I'm hoping to put like more or less a final coat tonight, do a final sand tomorrow, then we can start priming. So we primed one room, we primed the living room downstairs in this unit. It came out all right, and we still have a little bit more. There's a couple areas I want to touch up with some mud. So that's good.
One of the things I hope to highlight in a future video is you can see these blue straps that go around the leg. These things really dig into your legs. There's a set of padded straps that you can buy on Amazon. They're like 40 bucks. And man, I'm telling you, they are a lifesaver. I felt like I had some slight bruising after all of this. I got the padded Velcro straps and they're freaking legit. So I'm using those now. It was a little intimidating getting onto these stilts and trying to figure out how to walk around and not fall. I had some people tell me, you know, you need to have more than one person on site when you're doing this in case you fall. The thing is, man, just don't ever get too confident. Just be careful. You know, stay humble, take short steps. It's like wrestling. Short, choppy steps. And just, you know, keep them underneath you. Don't walk backwards. And, you know, just respect them the whole time that you're on them. One thing is, it's kind of a core workout, so you get tired after a while. You feel your legs getting tired. You know, you feel yourself not being able to balance or your attention slipping. It's time to come down. The job can wait another day.
I'm gonna say this is my new favorite tool for doing drywall. Went great. It took me a little while to get used to it. You know, there's some videos on YouTube that kind of give you maybe a couple tips and tricks, but the main thing, you just got to get them and get on them. And after I was on them for a little while, you know, I'm holding the ceiling, I'm holding the walls. And after I'm on them for a little while, I can kind of take steps and do what I need to do. Obviously, I was still being cautious. I got that whole room, the back room, I haven't done anything. I had my lowest bidder drywaller who stole a bunch of tools from me. He's been working in there, and then another guy that I had hired had been working in there. And I gotta tell you, nobody, you know, at some point you gotta be able to trust contractors to do work, right? Because you can't do all this yourself. And that's one of the big mistakes when I do my review video at the end. I'm gonna talk about some of that. But nobody cares about your property like you do. And man, some of the corners in there were taped so poorly. They're really bad. And then, you know, the mud was real thick, but I think some of that thick mud, rather than sanding it down, I'm just going to skim. I'm going to come off the edge and skim the feather out, so that'll be all right. But one of the things that I learned when I was drywalling, when I was finishing out the living room, always drywall mud and tape with your best light. You see this big light that was in the time lapse probably. It lights up the whole room. You can see all the imperfections and the bumps. All right, just wanted to bring you guys in and take a look at the mud over here. it's probably hard to tell because the exposure is so high, but yeah, it's pretty gnarly. So I'm working with, you know, uneven walls. That's just a single layer of tape right there for this patch that I had to do for the HVAC install. With my return down there and a little patch down there. I didn't actually hit those tonight, but I got tired and I'm about done. Stayed on the stilts all night. But anyway, yeah, all this stuff here. Some of these corners, I didn't tape these corners. I'm an amateur. These were actually done by the guy that I paid to do them, and they're terrible. I mean, just really bad. So anyway, got a lot of work to do. Here's one where I got had to fill quite a bit of mud in. I'll obviously clean that bottom edge off. And then over here in this corner, lots to do, and all them bubbles. Been watching Vancouver Carpenter quite a lot. And I guess you totally out of focus. I can't get this in focus. There we go. Been watching Vancouver Carpenter quite a lot, and he's taught me how to deal with these bubbles, but I still got them, so I still got to work with them. All right, well, as you can see, windows are dark. That means it's dark outside. It's time to go home. All right, guys, Friday, July 9th. I'm getting a little bit of a late start today. I need to get some mud on the walls, and I just published my last video. I don't know if you watched that, probably wasting your time. My youngest son watched the video. He says, you talk way too much, you do too much talking, not enough doing. So today, I'm gonna try to film more doing. One of the things I wanted to talk about was the mud. So I've been using this pre-mixed mud. I got this ultra lightweight product called Rapid Coat, and I like it because when you get your knife loaded up, it's not very heavy. It's a very light product. It says on the label that it can be used for every phase of the coating process. So you can use it to tape, you can use it to, you know, do your second and third coats. So I've been using that for everything. And one of the things I'm struggling with when I buy these premix is getting it the right consistency. So see right now, I've got it, it starts to sag on the knife. I don't even see that. Well, the last coat I did, I had it sagging too much, and I'd put it on the wall and it would start to sag and run. And so that's bad. But I got a new bucket, and I think I got this pretty well mixed. And one tip, if I can give you, is that when you're coming in and out of the job site and you got your pre-mixed bucket, you mix it up one day, you get it right. I got it right now. I will put the lid back on, scrape the sides down. When I come back to the job site tomorrow, I gotta check it again. I can't just start mudding with it. So, you know, I may have to add more water. It might thicken up, dry out a little bit. So that's a tip for you. Another tip, I should do some on camera or something, but I've really fallen in love with this quick set joint compound. It's a 20-minute product. You just mix it in the pan and it's gonna start hardening right away. So I've been using that from like my pre-pack when I have gaps that I need to fill, and it's too small for, you know, actually putting bits of drywall in there, but it's too wide to put this stuff in one shot. You get that 20-minute stuff, pack it in there, it's great. It dries up real hard, it's an amazing product. So that was a tip I got, again, from watching Vancouver Carpenter. That guy's amazing. Shout out to him. If you're doing a renovation and you're taping, learning to mud and tape yourself, go check out his channel. Lots of great stuff. So anyway, time to get to work. Not really what I like, but half of it. As I'm trying to widen this out. Didn't do it right up there at the top, but we'll get more. Wore myself out last night on the stilts, carrying around too heavy of a pan. And then when you're doing these, when I'm going from first coat to second coat, you use so much mud, you keep going back. Oh, right in the return vent. Ain't bad. Some ripples through here where it wasn't really flat. That'll stand out. I didn't think so at first, but I think I did mix my mud too wet. there's no way not to have a ripple in the middle. All right, so as you can see, that took me about 5-8 minutes or something. So that's just 3 joints, right? Basically floor to ceiling. So you can imagine when you're doing every joint, you know, each corner, you got to sand it, you got to come back and fill it, you got to wait for it to dry overnight, you come back, sand and fill, you keep doing that, and depending on how many imperfections you have, I mean, I'm pretty bad at this, so it takes me quite a few trips through. Like last night, I was here for about 3.5 hours on the stilts. Stilts did cut my time down, so I got more done than I normally would have, but I was still getting used to them and everything. I think tonight, the stilts will really benefit me a lot more because I'm a little more comfortable with them and I should get more mileage out of them. But, you know, 3.5 hours, I got that room, which barely needed anything, and I got most of this room. Now, these are 2 joints that I didn't do because I was working on the stilts. So I was up above the whole time, and I didn't get to these, so they didn't get a dry cycle. So I had to come back and do them there. So you can imagine, you know, that's why I've been mudding and taping for weeks, and all that cycle and stuff is why. Also, I want to stress, this is not how to. Don't look at me doing this and go, oh yeah, that's how it's done. That's why I'm not explaining what I'm doing or nothing, because I'm not good at this. So y'all need to learn from, you know, somebody better.
Got a lot of touch up to do above the stairs here. I'm being a little picky about how my corners look, and we are going to texture, so some of that is going to get covered, but I'm just trying to get this stuff all looking right. I don't want to paint and then, you know, look at it and be like, ah, man, I wish I'd have spent a little more time on that. At the same time, the texture is supposed to save me time.
Wednesday, July 21st. So I want to close this video out. I got a bunch of updates that we did over the weekend and everything. One big thing, obviously, the HVAC is running and I'm just keeping the side cool. So whenever I come over here to work on the south unit, you know, it's great in here. So shout out to my HVAC man for getting that taken care of and making this a good experience. So set this tub in place, and I got a little bit of drywall up in here. I don't know if I've updated that. Got this soffit built. This is all in the south bathroom. So that's a return line. We had to soffit around that. And then that light was the place the electrician put it, you know, made sense at the time. And now with that return line there, it had to come down. So we just sawed all that out. And that's just kind of hanging there. And we'll set that soon. That space there is a little wide, so we're going to put a stud in there. That's my kicker vent that's going to go underneath the vanity. My HVAC man put that in. It's really good. We got all the stuff closed in there. Almost. I mean, once we get this wall up, we'll have it. I got my PEX up, and I just got all my lines plugged so I can pressurize. Except for the hot side. This hot is not plugged. It's not pressurized yet. I'll show you why. Anyway, so the tub is in place so we can set the drains and everything. I got the drain done. There's the toilet supply as well. So lots of progress. Then this gap here, that's about probably 2 foot at least. We're going to put a stud in the middle of that as well. I haven't done that yet. Up here in the upstairs, oh my gosh, it's blinding. This room here is primed. So we got this all completely done. And you know, as far as the mud goes, and it's primed. We were, you know, doing a little mud in there in the stairwell, and it is not primed yet, obviously. I even vacuumed up here. I've been vacuuming a lot to try to keep the dust down. This closet, this used to be wider, and so we had to close that in because there's HVAC running in there to go up to that supply. Now you think that's a return, but that's a supply near the ceiling. There's also a supply there in the floor and over here in the back room. My light didn't work. What? Alright, light doesn't work in here. It's stupid. So there's the return for upstairs. This is in the bedroom in the south unit. And there's the other supply. So what happened here was I got two 6-inch supplies up here, and that wasn't enough. So that's why there's a shared supply up there near the ceiling. That'll be nice anyway, because it'll push some of the hot air off the ceiling and down into that return, hopefully. So you can't tell because my stupid light doesn't work. I don't understand what's going on there. But this particular room has got its last coat of mud, and we'll be, you know, put one more sand on this, and it's ready to prime. Okay. This little patch that I put here is a little saggy. I'm gonna take that out and put some supports under it. One thing I was gonna show is this sander right here. So I bought one of these cheap sanders with a little dust collection bag. It was like $108 on sale on Amazon. And I gotta tell you, man, I was skeptical, but that thing does really well. I really like that. So we're definitely, that's a keeper. And I sanded this room back here in, you know, 10-15 minutes. And that was my first go at it. Here in the kitchen, we still got to put a final sand. I haven't done anything in here because I got this stack of all this stuff here. So I need to get back on the kitchen and hopefully final sand, a little bit of touch up, and this room here is ready to prime. Expansion tank back here, it's hard to see. Really tough to get it back up in there, and once I pressurized the system, it was leaking. So I had to pull it out, put some pipe dope on it, put it back in. But I got all my cold water supplies run, working on the hot water supply. Had to soffit around the chase for the HVAC. So we did that this weekend. And then when I put the hot water supply in, I put it in the soffit, not above it. So that's got to get cut and redone. But what I've been doing with that, I got my trusty angle grinder, and I'll just come up to these and I'll cut, let me focus properly. I'll come up to these and I'll just cut that compression ring, and then I can kind of yank it off, and then you got to trim the pipe back a little bit, and then you can reuse it. That's what I've been doing when I make mistakes on the compression rings. So then here, the tub is in place so that I can finish that drain. So tub drain is good to go. You see it does have a little drain on it, and so we're going to put an access panel in the ceiling down here in case that tub clogs, we can get to that valve. So that's cool. Goes on over here. We did test all the drains this weekend and they're good to go. All right, now Friday was a big day on this side, and I hate to keep jumping back and forth from side to side, which sucks, but there's that wall. I did most of it. I never really showed that in the last video when I said, oh, I'm going to put this wall up, and then I just kind of moved on and never showed it. There it is. The HVAC man said he needed this chase. Oh gosh, you can't see anything upstairs. I have no lights upstairs. There's a hole right there in that little black area, but he needed that top plate removed off of that wall. And in a previous video, I showed how bad the wall was. Well, here now, we've rebuilt the wall. And so I'm pretty proud of that. It looks really good. We did that's about 3 hours of work, myself with help. We had the whole thing jacked up. So it's really cool. Still got to cut the bottoms out right there and right there. But also, we had to kind of tear the concrete up here to get our bottom plate to lay flat. And so I need to pour some new concrete into there before I really get crazy taking these bottom plates out. And also I need to put some tap cons down because we were using Ramset, which is so hard to see, using Ramset on these, and it just destroys concrete and doesn't actually stick. So we're going to go with tap cons. But there we go. Major progress. So that was a job that had to get done. I wanted to wait until, you know, I'm trying to get this basement on this side prepped and ready to drywall so that we can mud it in and paint and all that kind of stuff. We're starting to paint on this side, and I got to get the insulation up and everything so I can get this thing rent ready. But I mean, man, the pieces are really starting to fall in place. So that's it. Appreciate you guys watching. Like I said, you know, July 21st and it's 8:30. So I'm getting ready to head home. I've been here since after work and I'm tired. Some of that footage when I was in the basement showing all that stuff, it was getting a little wibbly wobbly, but I'm tired, man. I've been mudding, working, and I did take 2 days off prior to this, so Monday and Tuesday I didn't get to work because I had other obligations. And from here through the weekend, gonna jam, try to get a bunch done. Like I say, all the pieces are starting to fall into place, and it's like jobs aren't really getting ticked off, but they're so close to getting done. So anyway, like I said, appreciate you watching, and see you guys next time.